What did I think then you singing? What did I think then you swinging? That funny old tune will drive me to ruin. It came along and made me a slave. Now I'm craving things that I should crave. It came along and made me a slave. Now I'm craving things that I should crave.
Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Okay. Let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns. So, Peter, whom you know from my Tinfoil Tuesday series, where I cover conspiracy theorists of all stripes. Peter is an individual that believes a certain conspiracy theory about Democrats eating, that's being hyperbolic, torturing and kidnapping children for chemicals in their brains that make them immortal or something. Or originated on 4chan, where the Anons hang out. Certain letter of the alphabet. You probably know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Peter did a video on me. Let's take a look at said video, shall we? We're just kind of jumping right into it today, and I will get to bit messages. We're almost on a hype train. But I just want to get into this because I find it interesting. So let's see what Peter has to say about me talking about his ridiculous conspiratorial beliefs.
So this video is dedicated to my biggest supporter, Hannah Reloaded. They make a lot of videos making fun of me.
Love you, Peter.
Here's one video, and you can see a lot more. Here's another video. Here's another video. This is someone who's been making fun of my videos. They're a big fan because they think I'm hilarious.
That is true. You are pretty funny.
Hilariously wrong. And they just keep making videos about me, as you can see, all over their channel. And so they're the reason I'm getting so many downvotes and trolls and negativity on my channel.
Okay, I'm not going to say that there's absolutely no one from my channel that's ever done that. For the record, I've never told anyone, like, to go to your channel. I don't do that shit. I find that obnoxious, so I would never do that. But when you're on the internet, it turns out people are going to comment on your stuff. Some of them aren't going to like your material, especially when you come out and just say ridiculous things that, of course, most people find hilarious. The vast majority of people do not ascribe to, let's call it QAnon, shall we? Most people don't ascribe to QAnon and that ridiculous conspiracy theory, so you're going to find people online who are going to disagree with you and mock you for spreading it or attempting to spread it in some way, shape, or form. That's basically all I have to say about that.
Though I do appreciate Hannah promoting my channel. It's all fair game here. But
yeah, and your channel got deleted. How'd that work out?
This video is dedicated to you, Hannah. I would like to debate you on YouTube. I know your ego's probably exploding that I'm making a video about you.
That's true. It does feel pretty good. It's like... How do I explain this? Some people are cryptid hunters, right? They go out looking for Bigfoot. I'm a conspiracy theorist hunter in that I find conspiracy theorists fascinating in the way they think. Incredibly interesting. So imagine you're a Bigfoot hunter, and not only do you find Bigfoot, but Bigfoot notices you and makes a YouTube video about you looking for Bigfoot. It's pretty cool.
But let's take a look at what Hannah looks like. Yeah.
We doing that, Peter? We going that route? Let's not start that, shall we?
So this is Hannah. It's clearly a trans something.
That is true.
And they love attention.
I do. I don't think you'd be on YouTube if you don't like attention, Peter. The same goes for you. People who don't like attention don't put themselves on camera multiple times a week for others' entertainment.
Desperate, they'll wear anything for attention, but
that's very true. What's the weirdest thing I've worn for attention? I can't say the corn suit. That's Jake's thing. One time I licked butter off my nipples on camera. That was fun. That was pre-transition though, so not as big.
Not to talk about their looks. They make fun of me. This person makes fun of me because I've gotten a few dates wrong, but...
No. This is the thing he'll do for the rest of this video, is he'll claim that the only thing I've made fun of him for is for getting dates wrong. And while that is funny, that's not the main thing. It's because the entire premise of your entire belief is wrong. It's not just the dates. It's that you're wrong about the things you believe. You believe Biden is secretly not the president or that Trump is in control of the military, neither of which are true. That's the fundamental issue that I have. It's not just the dates, although the dates are emblematic of the wrongness of your belief. My issue is that you are wrong and spreading lies to people unintentionally. I believe that you believe this for one reason or another, but it's also not true. A lie is still a lie, even if you believe it.
Let's go to the facts. Biden is the first incumbent president in history, U.S. history, to not fly into inauguration in a Air Force One plane.
The first president in history to not fly in on Air Force One. I don't think Abraham Lincoln flew on an Air Force One either. Okay, jokes about that aside, I know what you mean. You're talking about since the advent of Air Force One. Let me explain what happened there. The incoming president, the president-elect, is not, because they're not the president yet, entitled to fly on Air Force One to the inauguration or another government plane. It has been a courtesy from the previous president in basically every administration to send a government plane for the incoming president because we have peaceful transitions of power that are supposed to be respectful in this country. The difference that election was, the president at the time was Donald Trump, who's a giant man baby, who clearly decided, I'm not going to send a plane for Joe Biden because he's a bitch. That's why. Like Obama sent... Stop it, Coke can. I don't know if you heard that. Obama sent a plane for Trump, and, Bush sent a plane for Obama, right? It's a voluntary thing, and Trump decided not to do it because he's a sore loser. And since then, of course, Biden has used Air Force One, and I don't just mean the fact that any plane the president is on is Air Force One. We know that. We've talked about that before. I'm talking about the one that we consider Air Force One colloquially. He has flown on it before. There was a recent viral video where he, tripped going up the stairs to Air Force One. Biden uses Air Force One.
That's saying something. He's not being given the presidential treatment. Added to the fact that he's not getting real presidential cars that are the real thing. There's more. He is though. More evidence of that. He's also not been given the White House. And
this is my favorite thing he says in this video, is this, because it's... You'll see.
And this explains it right here. This is a video of Biden in the real White House, but there is a...
It is the real White House.
Truck, maybe 50 feet behind him. If you look at the real Oval Office floor plan, 50 feet behind him would be around here. As you can see, there's no street. There's actually some trees. So there wouldn't even be a truck parked here.
Peter, you're literally looking at a map and you're 1 inch away from the road. Move your cursor to the right 1 inch and there's a big circular road right there. Do you see it? Do you see the road? Can you see I don't think you can see my cursor. Do I need to point it out? I think this is obvious enough that you can see what I'm talking about. The Oval Office is the circle up in the upper left hand, and then directly next to it is part of that road that's the circle that's going around this little green area. It's right there. Peter, you're looking at a picture of it. How do you not... How do you not understand that the truck... Let me see if I can get my cursor to show up, just because, I need to point this out. I don't want Peter to feign any sort of... Okay, can you see my cursor? Great. Can you see... Oops, didn't mean to do that.
So this video is dedicated to my biggest supporter. If you look at
You can see my cursor, right? With the display capture? I hope you can. Okay. So, Peter, this is the Oval Office. The camera was pointing in this direction, diagonally, looking at Biden sitting at the Resolute desk. It was shooting the truck that is right here, roughly, on this obvious driveway. It's right here! Ooh, there's a swimming pool. I didn't know there was a swimming pool at the White House. Nice.
Real Oval Office floor plan. 50 feet behind him would be around here. As you can see, there's no street. There's actually some trees.
Peter, they're not looking straight behind him. They are at an angle. They're not looking directly. My God. And also, I do think they're on this driveway, but if what's the word I'm looking for? A gardener, or what that truck more looks like for, like, landscaping, was doing something, they have the authority to drive on the grass if they're doing landscaping. I don't know if you know that.
A truck parked here. If he was in the real Oval Office, Hannah, I would like you to explain why there is a truck right behind him.
I just did.
That doesn't make a lot of sense considering there's no street for like another 1,000 feet.
It's literally right here. You're literally pointing to the street down here when it's right here also. Even if it was down here, which it could be, I don't know. Peter. This is frustrating beyond belief. Biden in Oval Office. On Inauguration Day, we saw him walk into the White House and then immediately go and start signing executive orders. It was the same day. Like, it's just... You are so desperate to make stuff up to try and explain why this conspiracy theory is true. And it's just not. It's not. I understand you don't like Biden. That's your right. But come back to reality. Please.
Not 50 feet. And where the truck would be, there is a bunch of trees. So this is actually a studio in Castle Rock, California that Amazon owns. Biden doesn't have access to the real White House. So you think it's pretty funny, make it funny because I get a few dates wrong, but could you please explain to all your viewers, Hannah, why is it that Biden doesn't have access to the real White House?
He does have access to the White House. He's in the White House in this picture. I explained this.
Ouch. Maybe.
Ouch.
Because
it's always good to be really confident when you sound like an idiot.
Because he's not really, he's not getting presidential treatment because he's legally...
Actually, any treatment he gets is the presidential treatment because he's the president. Fun fact.
Anyway, So, he doesn't have the real White House, Hannah. You can laugh all you want, but the fact is, this floor plan proves with the truck right behind...
Oh, God. He's posting about it on Great Awakening. Oh, God. Oh... Communists will often change the subject. Try to trap them with a logic bomb. Use their own terminology against them. Rephrase your beliefs to sound like theirs. For example, voter ID is racist. Does that mean voter ID for booze, guns is racist? It disproportionately affects people of color. Why would we talk about voter ID? Oh, boy. This is going to be good. For those who don't know, Peter and I are going to be doing a discussion on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
And there is a street right behind the Oval Office in the fake White House, but there is no street with no trucks. It's impossible in the real White House. So he doesn't have access to the real White House, Hannah. Sorry to pop...
He does.
...your... ego bubble. Also, could you explain why just between January and October there were 1,332 resignations of CEOs? CEOs do not like to resign.
Sure, we're in the middle of a global pandemic in which tons of companies are performing very poorly, which is leading to people stepping down from their positions.
But under Trump...
I also don't know what the typical is. Peter makes an assertion later that that's strangely high, but again, 1,000 CEOs stepping down in a year doesn't sound that much. Are you counting CEOs of what size? I don't know. If he wants to cite a better source on that, I'd be willing to look at it. But so far, he's just making an assertion that 1,300 CEOs stepping down over the course of roughly a year is a lot. And I have nothing to compare it to.
Over 2,000 of them have resigned. And can you explain that, Hannah? And
this one says 1,300 stepping aside.
now, if Trump forced him to resign through the military, and now Biden controls
The president doesn't have the ability to force CEOs to resign.
the military, why didn't all these CEOs go back to becoming CEOs again?
They probably will be CEOs somewhere else at some point. Did you track all 1,300 of these and check where they're working now? Or are you again making assumptions and then expecting other people to buy them?
All these people who resigned from being CEOs, they could just go back to being CEOs because Biden's in control now. No one's forcing them to.
Again, you're starting with the concept that you believe that Trump forced them to resign in some way, which you haven't evidenced in the first place. This is a huge problem with Peter, is that he will make a wild assumption and then build off that assumption as if the first statement has already been proven when it hasn't, which causes him to really spiral out of control on a lot of his claims.
Oh, yeah, but Trump controls the military, and they still don't have any power to be their be CEO again. So you may laugh all you want, but Biden didn't get Air Force One plane for his inauguration. Biden doesn't have access to the White House.
Even if Biden was on Air Force One for the inauguration, it wouldn't be Air Force One until noon, because it's Air Force One when the president's on it. But again, I explained that one. Trump's just a big baby bitch and decided not to send a plane because he's mad he lost.
And Biden doesn't have power to get all his buddy CEOs that are corrupt, that are going to Guantanamo Bay, back into their positions of CEOs. They've all resigned. I wonder why that is, Hannah. Could you explain that to all your viewers? I'm making this
I already did. You repeat yourself a lot, Peter. You gotta be more succinct, okay? You make a statement once.
video for you. I really hope you show this video to all your viewers,
I am.
because, it's a good video to show. It's all about you, Hannah. This video is dedicated to you. Could you show all your viewers, Hannah, why is it there's 234,000 sealed indictments? I think there was between 5 and 10,000 when Trump came in, and now there's 234,000, more than ever.
Again, if you're gonna make that claim, you gotta source it. You can't just say it. This source is welovetrump.com. Sorry if I don't take that source as gospel. You're gonna have to actually source that claim somewhere that we can go and check that number versus numbers in previous years.
In history, a lot of firsts. Most sealed indictments in history, most CEO resignations in history.
Again, you're making claims here. Most CEO resignations in history. If that's true, what are you basing that claim on? Most sealed indictments in history. Do you have a source I can look at that can see sealed indictments this year versus previous years? Or last year versus previous years? You need to source that.
The United States, the most, the first time a president is not given the White House. First time a president is not given Air Force One.
Biden is in the White House, and we've seen him use Air Force One.
Inauguration. Could you explain all these things to? It's all fun and games until you look at the nitty gritty facts. Now, obviously, I've gotten some stuff wrong, but
Basically, everything you've said in this video is wrong, yes.
I'd like you to explain away these sealed indictments and all these CEO resignations who are still resigned, by the way. I don't think Bill Gates wanted to resign. I don't think Bezos wanted to resign.
Why? Bezos specifically said he's stepping away as CEO, but he's not going to not be involved in the company. He's going to be working on, I think, their space shit or whatever it is. Excuse me. I don't know about Bill Gates. Did Bill Gates step down from Microsoft? I wasn't under the impression he was still the CEO of Microsoft anyway. Didn't he step down years ago from that to focus on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
They were forced to resign because they're going through the military tribunals.
Yeah, years ago. Okay, I'm right. Why is he saying it like Bill Gates stepped down this year?
Be justice occurring. You can laugh all you want, Hannah, but the fact is a storm is brewing. And
ooh, the storm's coming. Every day since 2017, these people have been saying a storm's coming. All right. When's it getting here? Are we going to wait another 2,000 years for this shit? Hello?
all your favorite people are not going to have a happy day anymore.
I find this funny, too, that he thinks I must, love CEOs or something. I don't. Peter, I'm a leftist. I don't like rich people. I don't like CEOs. If someone was actually committing some sort of horrible crime, I would hope they would go to jail. I would hope they would face justice for their actions. I'm not in a cult. You are. I don't have slavish devotion to people like you do. Bill Gates resigned from Microsoft in 2008. Yeah, he went on to work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation more full-time.
They're all going to be given the hammer of justice. So keep laughing. Keep laughing.
Gotcha. Casual Snark says, in 2019, 1,332 CEOs stepped down, a lot of them due to behavioral issues, a la #MeToo. This is according to NBC News. That would make sense.
And keep promoting me. I appreciate it.
Sure. Me promoting you helped get your channel deleted last time, so... TikTok.
Especially this video. I want you to show all your viewers this video of how you can't explain why Biden is not getting any presidential treatment.
He is. He's the president. Sorry.
Doesn't have access to the White House. He can't get his corrupt CEO buddies back into their positions of CEOs. And
do you think Biden is, like, literal friends with every CEO in America? How many CEOs are in America? Let's see. How many CEOs are in America? Public companies. What about private companies? CEOs are in America. Public and private. Most companies are private, so... It actually might be hard to find, considering they're private companies. Their books are going to be closed, so I guess it would probably just depend on... No, because that stuff would still be filed with the FCC, I think, or not FCC, the SEC. I don't know.
And all these sealed indictments.
He's coming on Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern.
He can't do anything about them. The fact is, Trump controls the military.
He doesn't.
These sealed indictments will be unsealed this year.
I mean, some of them might be their sealed indictments, but they're not going to be about the nonsense you think they're going to be about.
Trump will be president again. You can laugh all you want, but the real conspiracy is ignoring these sealed indictments, the resignations of CEOs, the fact that Biden didn't get Air Force One to his inauguration. The real conspiracy is that ignoring the fact that Biden is not in the real Oval Office.
Ah, the classic "no you" defense. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You're a conspiracy theorist for not believing in my conspiracy theory.
That's the real conspiracy here. If you think Biden is getting the full presidential...
Ah, okay. Thank you. Gimpzilla, do you have a source for that? I just want to make sure it's sourced. But Gimpzilla says there are 195,530 CEOs. So that's what? 0.5% roughly. I'm estimating. It's going to be a little off. But roughly 0.5% of CEOs resigned in 2019 or 2020 or whatever year that was. That sounds normal to me. 0.5% leaving jobs to go work elsewhere. That sounds reasonable for an average year.
Treatment, that is a conspiracy, because the fact is he's not, clearly he's not in the Oval Office. And
he is. He is, though. He is.
And he doesn't have much power. So continue laughing. I know there are now Democrats and liberals who watch my channel just to laugh at me. But the fact is, if you love these corrupt CEOs and all these politicians...
Again, why do you think we love... People in my chat and me are leftists. We do not like CEOs. But I also don't like people being accused of crimes they didn't commit. Peter, you're the one who wants to murder and jail all of your political enemies. You are the bad guy.
Democrats, you're going to be pretty sad this year. And when that happens, I'm going to jump on your channel and see your reaction to all your favorite people being delivered the hammer of justice.
Ah, yes, my favorite people. We all know I love Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
You're probably going to be crying in some of those videos, or you'll just shut down your channel. So it's all fun and games until you look at the facts.
Even if that all happened at the end of the year, and I shut my channel down in August, my channel would still probably last longer than this one.
Realize a storm is brewing. It's called Hurricane Trump. And
oh no, Hurricane Trump, is he gonna try and nuke that hurricane too?
justice is coming. Thank you, Hannah.
Justice is coming. I like QAnon people because they talk like Batman if he were into tantric justice. You're always on the verge of justice, but it never comes. It's like Sting mixed with Batman.
Hannah, for promoting my channel, and I really appreciate all the fun you're making of me and all the Democrats and liberals are watching my channel, because it's all fun and games until you look at the facts and then you realize...
Not really, then it's even funnier. That's like the key part of why it's funny to listen to you, because you distort and contort claims into your conspiracy, and it's pretty funny.
Ouch. Biden's not getting the real presidential treatment.
Again, he's the president. Any treatment he gets is presidential treatment.
And you can't explain away all the 2,000 CEO resignations or the over...
Why did you say 2,000? The article you showed said 1,300. And again, even 2,000 would be 1% of CEOs. That's not crazy turnover.
200,000 unsealed indictments, can you? Nope, you cannot. I'd like to hear it. I'm going to watch your video if you make a video about this.
Hi, Peter. How you doing? I'll talk to you about this Sunday, too. But from what I understand, you're having a rough time and you're having trouble supporting your kids on YouTube. You should probably get an actual job. That'd be good.
I think you're kind of funny, but I
Well, thank you. That's what I'm going for.
don't think you're going to be laughing too much in this video where you try to make fun of this one.
No, there was a decent amount of laughter. This wasn't your funniest stuff, but it was pretty good.
Alright, thank you everyone for watching. I hope this provides some evidence to the Republicans who watch my video who need hope. Remember, a storm is brewing. If these CEOs were forced to resign, obviously, and they're not back in office, they're not back in their CEO positions, it means Trump still has military control, still forcing them to stay resigned. And so good things are happening. And to all the Democrats are laughing, I'd like to see you laugh at all these facts. I mean...
Okay. I'm sorry, it's hot today. It's hot and muggy.
Something's happening. You have to admit it. If you think...
I also walked a ton today, and I'm tired.
That nothing is happening, that is the biggest tinfoil hat conspiracy, because the facts are a storm is brewing. And justice...
Oops, didn't mean to do that. It's fine. It was the end of the video anyway, but... Hold on. I've been emailing Peter, too. I think we're done emailing until Sunday, but... Interesting stuff. What's this? What else has Peter got? He did actually also beg for money the other day, which was pretty good.
Hi everyone, this is a very important channel update. I really do need your support. First, I want to thank all the Patreon supporters and all the people who donate to me. If it wasn't for your financial help, I might have just had to just not do my business or my videos anymore, because I really needed that financial help you gave me, and I do need a little bit more financial help to pay the bills, to run my YouTube channel.
What's happening Sunday? I'm having a discussion with Peter on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on this channel.
So if you guys haven't donated but have been considering it, now is the ideal time. I'm under attack definitely by Satan's minions.
That is true. I am one of Satan's minions. I'm not one of his favorite minions, but honestly, I'm hoping to get up there. It's hard to, rat race, all of a sudden, I'm telling people that the earth is round and that Trump isn't president, but then all of a sudden, there's Craig, Satan's favorite demon, who's out here making kids gay. I just can't live up to it.
And a lot of people right now are trying to shut down my Patreon, shut down my YouTube channel, shut down my comments, everything. They're trying to shut down everything that I'm doing, which just means I'm over the target. I'm offending liberals, which is okay, and I'm doing good things. That's really what this means. And so the bad part is this channel, I'm not sure how much longer it will survive. And so I am going to go to frankspeech.com and we release next.
I think that's supposed to be Mike Pillow's social media website. I could be wrong. Let me look. Frank Speech. Frank Peach. And then it goes up Frank from It's Always Sunny. That was pretty good. Frank Speech. This is the one? Coming soon. Free speech is one of the hallmarks of the constitutional republic as enshrined in the Bill of Rights. Blah, blah, blah. I think that the My Pillow guy has something to do with this. My Pillow CEO Mike Lindell's social media site is now called Frank, and it's launched as a static web page. Take a look. Launch within 14 days. Oh, this is going to be a shit show. I always like new hives of content.
Next week, they can't take me down there. They can't censor me there. And my new show on there will be called Peter's Sky High Politics. Sky High is one word.
Honestly, Peter, can I give you a bit of advice as someone who's been doing YouTube for 10 years? Not on this channel, but on Hannah and Jake, which is a different channel I do and have been doing for a decade now. Stick with Peter's political perspective. Alliteration is excellent. Definitely stick with the alliteration. Peter's Sky High Political whatever is not catchy. Stick with Peter's political perspective.
And there's no hyphen. Peter's Sky High Politics, Peter's Sky High Politics. Please search for me there on Frank's Speech. That will be my new show.
Also, if you keep changing the name of your show from, like, what was it before? Health Sanctuary Family to Peter's Political Perspective, now to Peter's Sky High Politics, it becomes difficult for people to track you from website to website if they're fans of you. And again, I don't know why I'm actually giving Peter good advice, because I don't like what he does. But it's just like, I can't not when someone's doing something that I think is bad for them. You need to stick with a brand, otherwise it gets difficult for people to follow you from website to website. So if you can get a consistent branding and keep it the same across all platforms, even if you get deplatformed, then it's very simple. Let me give you an illustration. Here's my YouTube, here's my Twitter, and here's my Twitch. Twitter. Hannah Reloaded, at Hannah Reloaded, banner. Hannah Reloaded on my actual channel. Normally the banner's up here, that's the same banner. Hannah Reloaded. YouTube. Hannah Reloaded. YouTube.com/Hannah Reloaded, same banner. You gotta remain consistent in your branding, okay? If you keep changing the name, it's not gonna serve you. Just saying.
And I also figured out that there is this person who's been making fun of my videos, and that explains why I get a bunch of downvotes all of a sudden and a bunch.
Bible Reloaded to Dead Name and Jake to Hannah and Jake. The Hannah and Jake switch was necessary, and the Bible Reloaded to Dead Name and Jake was because YouTube was pushing our videos down because Reloaded sounds like it has something to do with guns, and YouTube's algorithms don't like that.
Bunch of trolls and mean people coming to my channel. I'm not offended by them. It's totally okay. In fact, I appreciate this person, Hannah, who has been promoting my channel by making fun of it. That's
You're welcome.
fine with me. I just get more views and that's totally okay. But there's been a lot of attacks on my channel. There are people who've been trying to shut down my Patreon account, and I really do need financial support right now to pay the bills. I have not yet taken any net profit from my YouTube business, and so I do need some support. I do think that my business can thrive and be very successful, and no matter what happens, I'll keep making videos. But right now, I do need donations through Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. If you can give it $5, $10, just a few donations would make a big, big difference. I really, really would appreciate it. If you support my channel, if you want more content, if you want to defend me, protect me from all these attacks.
Peter, you have 2 kids with another kid on the way. Your wife might have a job, and that's wonderful. I have no problem with, like, someone being a stay-at-home dad and you know, their spouse going out and work. I'm not big on traditional gender roles. I don't really care either way, as you might imagine. But if you're genuinely struggling for money, and you can't afford to take care of your kids with a 3rd kid on the way, and you're, like, depending on YouTube and Patreon and donations to your Venmo to raise those kids, that's not cool. That's not cool. You should actually go out and try and find like a real stable job that's not going to get erased in a day because YouTube decides to wipe you off the face of the map, which they will. You're living on borrowed time here, Peter. I'm just letting you know that. And that's not a threat or anything. I'm just telling you, in the landscape and the rules of YouTube, you are breaking the rules. You are. So I'm not worried about you. You're just a person. Like, I care about everyone at least a little bit. But, you know, you in particular, I think you're doing harmful things. But your kids, I feel bad for your kids. You should definitely find a source of employment or income that is stable so you can make sure those kids are taken care of. Spend less time researching, air quotes, all this conspiracy bullshit and go and take care of your kids.
Tax, then now is the most important, critical time ever in the life of my business to consider donating, even if it's $1, whatever it is. Trust me, it makes a difference. So please donate, please support me. I do need the financial support as soon as possible. And for people who have been supporting me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you guys...
Someone just joined my Patreon as we were having this discussion. Thank you, William.
Guys can become Patreon supporters. That also helps as well. Whatever you guys can do to support my channel financially, I would really, really appreciate it. And if you can't, just sharing my videos, liking my videos, that helps a lot as well. Thank you so much, everyone who's basically made sure my channel will stay alive. Thank you. God bless you. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't donated yet, but you like my content and you do want to support me, share my content, like it.
Done.
And please consider donating. This is a pivotal time in the life of my business, and I really do need and would appreciate financial support. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for helping me become a better person and make better content. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
So interesting how positive he sounds when he's evil and wants all his political enemies murdered. What a nice banner. Health Sanctuary Family, Informed Preparedness. See, this is what I'm saying, though, too. This is another thing. Peter, your channel isn't called Health Sanctuary Family anymore. It's Peter's Political Perspective. You need a banner that says Peter's Political Perspective. And also, you probably should have cut out and turned these images into PNGs. Looks a little weird just having these square photos just laid on top. There are websites... Why am I helping Peter today? I don't know. There are websites like... No, what did I used to use as a free Photoshop alternative? Pixlr. You can go to Pixlr. And it's been a while since I've used Pixlr. But you can use it as sort of a free Photoshop alternative if you'd like. You can crop images and cut them out and make PNGs. But yeah, that's Peter. Like I said, Peter and I are going to be having a discussion on Sunday at 1. Please show up. There are 300 of you here. I hope to see as many of you there as possible. I'm sure I'm going to get inundated with trolls during that, so I might need to make some new mods. If you are a mod, I'd appreciate it if you can be there. I mean, I get it. It's a voluntary position, being a mod, so don't act... It's not mandatory or anything. Nothing about this is mandatory. But if you can, I'd appreciate it. I'm in Eastern time zone, so it'll be 1 p.m. Eastern. And if I have to, I'll make some new mods that day. I'm not going to deal with it now. I'll deal with it that day if I have to. 1 p.m. Eastern Sunday. So, prepare for that. That's the end of the Peter stuff for today. I just thought it'd be fun to get that video out of the way, debunk some of his claims. If those are his strongest claims, this is going to be a really fun discussion. This is going to be like that other guy I talked to. Remember the last debate I did with someone who believed this nonsense? That was fun. Check how much I'm making on Patreon now. Let me look. I can just go on here so you guys can see too. I'm now making $269 a month on Patreon. Nice. Wow. Specific donation amount just for the joke. Great. For those who don't know, since it's up anyway, I'll pimp it. I know you guys have heard it. I'm sorry. It's my job. Every third Sunday of the month, I do a patron-only stream. I'm going to try and do something a little different this time. Maybe figure out a way for us to maybe play like some online Cards Against Humanity, and I'll pick some people from the chat or whatever. We'll figure out something to do. Not a ton of people show up to those streams, but it's a good time. It's just a smaller audience, a little more intimate. So, yeah, become a patron if you want to be a part of that. Among Us? We could maybe do some Among Us or something. Yeah, that could be fun. Okay, that's Peter. So now for the rest of the stream, we're just kind of gonna do whatever. The title, I think, says Sovereign Citizens and Karens and Cringe. So we're just gonna kind of meander for a while, maybe for another hour or so. And then I gotta head out to Baja's place. I gotta drive to the city where she lives, which is about an hour and a half away from me. Because I have a vaccine scheduled early in the morning tomorrow in her town. New channel points, redemption options when. I know, I gotta figure that stuff out. I'm sorry. I gotta get new emotes and stuff, too. Someone sent this clip of Jeff for me to play.
Lauren Bardalis, you writing some run diaries with that outfit, Jeff? Ooh, good reference. Good reference. Glad I was able to catch the roundup live this month. You find the best wingnuts. You and Hannah Reloaded should do a charity stream or something. I would love to. I love Hannah. Hannah Reloaded is an absolute gem.
Love you too, Jeff.
And she's a big sweetie pie. I would love to hang out with Hannah anytime. I'm not on Twitter, and I'm not really part of internet culture anymore, so I don't know when we do it, but yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. I don't know where Jeff well, COVID anyway, but I'm getting my vaccine soon. I think it would be a lot of fun to go like hang out with Jeff in real life and do like a wingnut roundup with him in person. I think that would be a ton of fun. Or just online, like, you know, a normal person, but I think that'd be fun. Oregon, okay. Washington State. Gotcha. That'd be a bit of a flight. Check the Twitter DM that you sent. Okay, hold on. One sec. Oof. That's very interesting. Again, that's supposed to be private, so I'll keep that private. If that person ever wants to talk with me anonymously, though, that'd be fine. I think that would be interesting in and of itself, but I totally understand if that's not something that person is into. If they just want to keep that message private, then I would understand not wanting to talk about it publicly. I just wanted to offer. If you haven't seen Jeff, by the way, Jeff does, if you like what I do here, where I kind of look at internet, let's call them unique people, conspiracy theorists, people who believe in woo-woo stuff, whatever. Jeff does that also on his Wingnut Roundup streams, which he does on YouTube. He has a really good series on Jilly Juice, and all sorts of pseudoscience bullshit. Song Salt and Poo is my personal favorite, but he's got all sorts of stuff going on, so go check out Jeff. He does cover pee people. He covers people who drink their own pee-pee. That's true.
We're ranking the best and worst races from around the world
I've seen this video.
and putting them into a tier list. Now these next two races I can barely tell apart, so we're just going to lump them together. Don't tell me about they have different histories and cultures. I really don't care. They're the same. The Henry Ford Health Systems 200 and the Vetnik Company World 200 are the same race. They might as well be D tier.
Obvious joke, but pretty fun.
I know it's 1st of April, but
You misunderstood. I'm not non-binary. I don't eat dairy. Yeah, no, I'm going where they're going. No, you misunderstood.
Awkward clips from Minecon. That sounds great. I always like con cringe because I've been to multiple cons. I've spoken at a convention before. Like, I've been there from multiple angles, and there hasn't been a single con I've been to where some cringe didn't happen. It's pretty beautiful.
Wham should I have to a server?
How much dedicated wham should you have to a server?
Yes.
4?
Hello, London!
If you see yourself on screen, give us a wave. You're live to the internet.
Where do you get the inspiration for your evil mod packs? Because I love torturing my players on my server with them.
What would you be doing if Minecraft didn't exist?
That's a good question.
Some of these I don't find cringe, especially when it's little kids. Like, kids are kids. Come on.
I am #1 parkour master worldwide right here.
I could find a better cringe compilation than this. Food review cringe.
Hey everyone, it's Joe for Joey's Super Cool Food Reviews. I'm back. Today I'm doing McChicken Parmesan.
Is this what they call a YouTuber?
On.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'm Hannah. I'm back to do another YouTube review. Welcome. We're going to talk about some cringe stuff, and we are going to have a good time. I blame Jim Carrey for this, okay?
The McChicken Parm sandwich. Woo woo woo. Food mashup. The McChicken Parm. 3. Let me get some marinara sauce. We're gonna.
Oh god, it's a McChicken with mozzarella sticks and marinara? Does McDonald's sell mozzarella sticks now? Or did he go to a separate restaurant to get mozzarella sticks to put on his McChicken?
Marinara sauce, this mother. Alright?
Don't drink marinara.
Yeah. Yummy. I'm using the McChickens, 2 McChickens, 6 of the new mozzarella sticks from Mickey D's.
They must have done mozzarella sticks at some point. You know what? I think I did try their mozzarella sticks and they were terrible, and I love mozzarella sticks. But even for a McDonald's food, they were pretty bad.
And here we go, okay? We're gonna give this a shot. Woo 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 woo! Tell a friend.
You know what was a good garbage McDonald's food that I'm sad doesn't exist anymore? For a short period of time, they did bacon cheese fries, and they were the best terrible food. They were ideal shitty food porn.
Mm. 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 Mm.
I'm just gonna.
Your first episode.
I'm not gonna cover a kid. This guy's actually funny.
The new Domino's pan pizza. So we'll have to see how that's going. So first, let's pick out a slice here. How about...
This guy isn't cringe. He's fantastic.
How about this one here? As you can see, thicker crust, thicker dough, just like the,
I prefer Domino's pan pizza for a Domino's pizza. It's like puffy. I like the consistency of the crust. And it's really good if you throw it back in the oven once it's, like, leftovers.
You could say the deep...
It gets a little crispy on the outside, but it's, like, light and airy on the inside. It's pretty good for, like, a fast food pizza.
Dish pizza. However, this one has almost no crust whatsoever. You can see where they actually did put it in the pan here. But, there is pepperoni on the pizza, obviously. That's what I got. Yeah, I said...
So many of these are kids, though. Why do people feel the need to make fun of kids? Like, they're... Every kid is cringe, okay? It's not kids' faults. They're not done cooking yet. No, that's gonna be TikTok. TikTok has a ton of music and stuff. Screw it, let's go Karens. We're not having luck with cringe right now.
Look how much food you guys got. Ordered so much and you're gonna leave without paying?
Yeah, I do need to do bits messages. I'll do that real quick. Sorry, I'm all disheveled today. Merger, thank you for following. MikeMax321 says something fun to start with, which I think we looked at. 74Quinn74 says one of my CBD cannabis plants just sprouted. Oh, good for you. Bop Doop, thank you for following. 0M80 with 1,000 bits says, yay, Hannah is streaming on my day off. Hey, I hope you have a good day off. Sushi Mom says, you must be swift as a coursing river with all the strength of a great typhoon. With all the of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. A new cringe musician.
Hey, everybody.
Okay. Nick says, Niftski broke the sub 455 barrier into Super Mario Bros. 1. Peter respond to Hannah. What a week. I assume that's a speedrunning thing. Durges, thanks for resubscribing. May I pet your doggo? Thank you for resubscribing with 7 months in a row. Says flood damage fixed soon. Vax scheduled next week. You look great. Dunk on Peter's political perspective. Thank you. Jade15, thanks for resubscribing for 3 months. Says looking groovy, Hannah. Querulous Artisan, thanks for resubscribing for 7 months. Says 2 months to go until sub, baby. Daddy Sume says the weirdest thing is definitely the butter nips. Cast Iron Pan with 100 says hype bits for butter nips. I can't do butter nips anymore. Now I have actual titties. Nick Snort, thanks for resubscribing for 10 months. Casual Snark says, I find Peter's mathematics to be very odd, especially when calculating percentage odds. Bold of you to call it math. Nick says, George Washington flew in on a biplane made of cherry trees. Andrew Patella says, the subtitles, which didn't get a single word right so far, make much more sense than Peter. Cast Iron Pan, thanks for gifting a sub. Doodleburb with 50 bits says, your facts and logic and sense of perspective have no power here, Lizard Queen. Lavender Amberly, thanks for resubscribing for 4 months. Casual Snarked with 50 bits says, the whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts. Bertrand Russell. Yosin, thank you for following. Nick says, using the military to force a CEO out of their position seems a bit un-American, does it not? No, it's fine. It's fine when it's to punish people Peter doesn't like. Bardlock Moses says, Peter sounds so triggered. APY Twitch, thank you for following. Lavender Amberly with 300 bits. Thank you. Andrew Patella says, basically everything Peter said in the video was wrong. Credibility 100%. Am I right? Pyromancer says, Rapture is any day now. Casual Snark with 20 bits says, in 2019, 1,332 CEOs did step down, a lot of them due to behavioral issues, a la Me Too. This is according to NBC News. Andrew Patella says, I swear the Vietnamese subtitles with bits of English mixed in truly make so much more sense than him. Nick says, now I want to see him on TikTok. Bardlock Moses says, I got here late. Why does Peter care about CEOs? Because he thinks they're in on the democratic evil cabal thing he believes in. Andrew Patella says, the real conspiracy is the friends we made along the way. Bardlock Moses says, Trump doesn't care about you, Peter. Quiet185, thank you for resubscribing for 3 months, says, heyo, hope you're all well. Pyromancer with 20 bits says, evidence. Lavender Amberly with 200 bits. Bardlock Moses with 50. I'll be at work on Sunday. It'll be uploaded to YouTube. That's fine. Casual Snark says, if it wasn't for the fact that he wants me dead, I'd be tempted to donate. He's dead wrong, but he can be amusing. Bardlock Moses says, YouTube is trash. Bat, Cow, and Goat, thank you for 6 months, says, I've waited 3 days to resub and now I can't think of anything to say, so thank you for all you do. It means a lot to me. Your viewership means a lot to me. All of you. Comrade Saith, thanks for following. Daddy Sume with 20 bits. Pyromancer, where are all the Jankum crazies? Oh god, let's not get into Jankum. Doodleburb says, that was perfect. You have to introduce the stream like that every time now. Spazzy Shinobi, thanks for resubscribing for 4 months. Pyromancer says, the only cringe here is the ill-fitting suit. Nick says, too much cringe is just people having fun. Yeah, I agree. Which is why I try to ignore that stuff and skip over it, because I don't find just people unabashedly, unashamedly having fun cringe. Nick says, too much cringe. Oh, nope, already read that. Amaya Pretty 3492, thank you for following. Mike Max 321 with 20 bits, and then Terminator, it's just spelled wrong. 2, thank you for following. Mike Max sent a link as well.
This is Matt Senna with Brother Sage's song, I'm a Pee Drinking Man. Performed 2021, written 2017. Sure, there's juice and coffee and tea. Yet for this modern man, this body thrives on pee. Sickness cannot touch me, nor can aging. The water of life
Is this a real guy? Is this real? Or is this... Oh, this looks real. Okay. Oh, no. I'll put him under conspiracy, folks. I think the pee people go under conspiracy.
got its own divine timing. So let it flow. Drink as much as you can. Discover why I'm a pee drinking man. It knows when to serve you the perfect blend of ultra-filtered nutrients, the finest nectar of immortality. No money can buy it. It's Orin for me. So let it flow. Drink as much as you can. Discover why I am a pee drinking man. Yes, so let it flow. Drink as much as you can. Discover why I'm a pee drinking man.
If it needs to be said, don't drink your pee. If you're in a survival situation and you need to conserve your moisture, your water to try and stay off dehydration, sure. But when you're just like living your life, you should not drink pee. Don't drink pee. Don't drink pee. It's not going to do anything positive for you. Pee itself in the bladder, I've heard, is sterile, but once it leaves and exits, it is not sterile. It is coming in direct contact with your genitals, which are outside your body, and you sweat and there's bacteria. Do not drink your pee. It's not going to do anything positive for you. If you just keep doing it over and over again, you're just going to get more and more concentrated crap that your body's trying to remove. It will not hydrate you effectively. You need to drink water. Drink water, not pee. I can't believe I need to say this.
Well, a pee drinking man may not be the common of men.
My neighbor just walked by outside as I was saying that, and I'm pretty sure they think I'm crazy now.
Yet his youthful energy and appearance is attractive and sweet. Oh, again and again. Again and again. So let it flow. Drink as much as you can. Discover why I'm a pee drinking man. So let it flow. Drink as much as you can. Discover why I am a pee drinking man. Discover it.
Gross.
Without paying? You still ordered it. They still cooked your food.
Left without paying. You still left without paying.
You came up to us.
Because you're video recording.
For them. for their protection. Go. Pay them and leave. Pay them and leave. Pay them and leave. Pay them and leave.
That really makes sense why you guys look like that. Like, that's very rude.
Okay, pay them and leave.
Okay.
Trash.
No, we're not trash.
More trash. Pay them and leave.
Trash. The fact that you're video recording and like
Just
go and
bye.
Go and pay. Stop. Literally stop.
You're still talking.
Because you're still recording for
Pay them and leave.
What we're doing doesn't concern you. Go pay. It does because I'm on video. Go
So
pay.
And what?
Just stop.
At this hour. Please record your moving furniture. Record your man. Record your man moving furniture.
When am I heading there? Probably another 20 to 30 minutes of stream, and then I'll leave. It'll be a little bit shorter today, but...
Hang on, I'm gonna get my camera to record you in your robe.
Good.
Go ahead. But you've been screaming since what time? Have you? You just moved in. You just moved in.
Yeah, you're the one that had the police.
Making a scene, dude.
I'm gonna find out where you work and you're gonna lose your job for saying
Maybe
that.
I get paid by the government.
You can't say that word.
Really?
Dude,
You're a honey.
Oh my god.
Do you think because you're not brown, you're not?
What the f is wrong with you?
Was waking me up at 4? No, I'm sorry, 3:30. Hang on, I got a phone too, babe. I'm using to call the cops.
Good, call him.
Are you getting in your car drunk, bro? Or are you just high on meth?
Hi, and Matt, that's you. You're the one with no teeth. Tell me how you cough on people again. Go ahead. So you're in the store complaining that people aren't wearing masks, correct? Are you hiding now? And you want to say that you're going to f***ing cough on me? You're going to cough on me. You're going to cough on me?
She'll be up here in a minute.
Thank you. So now you have nothing to say because you're sitting here with your middle finger up, blocking your face because you're a coward. Yeah, I'm laughing at you because you're a pussy. And you think you have the right to take your mask
Lupine!
off to get everyone else sick. Meanwhile, you just threatened to f***ing cough on me during a global pandemic.
I'm so sick of these COVID idiots. The COVID denier, anti-masker pieces of shit.
But no, Jessica, I've never talked to you. So being that I have a spinal fusion and I'm in the wheelchair and my flight that I missed thanks to your agent is at 8:48 a.m., I'm going to need a hotel room. I'd also like to know where my $300 laptop bag is. I would also like to know, to finish my complaint with the American Airlines flight attendant who just busted my eardrum that I just filed a complaint about for the flight that I also just got off the phone when I was out there. So, now, what else do I need to talk about? The fact that this is the third flight that I missed on account of y'all. So in addition to getting my refund for these 3 flights, I also want my flight. I don't even want to fly with y'all to Tokyo no more, and I'm going to delete that flight. But it's all good. I'm going to handle that. But for right now, I just need to get a hotel. Because again, I live in LA, I'm from Indianapolis, and not to be brand new, I'm not going to sleep in a, okay, well then, that's fine. I'm going to go get a hotel. Thank you, Jessica. I'm going to go get a hotel.
Now cancel your flight.
I'm going to go get a hotel. Thank you.
You ain't flying tonight because that's against the law, and I'm going to call the
What's
police
against the
on
law?
you.
Call the police. I can do whatever I want to do. I can. I have a master's in communication. All the
I have a master's in community. Okay, cool.
Hey, who grandmama this is? Bruh. Who missed Sunday dinner? Who missed? Oh shit! Man, call people that woman, son. Who missed Sunday dinner? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. This fucking I Am Legend. That bitch trying she's doing the same shit. She's doing the same shit. What the fuck? What?
This is very funny.
I'm
still need to go
dying.
home.
Hello?
I wouldn't lock the other door. Nobody got
You got a Rona?
You need to go home.
No. Nice try. Someone linked me to Danzy.
Yo, mom, baby girl. Who the fuck is baby girl? Hello?
He just called.
Hello?
Me that.
Hello? Anyways.
What? Go home. What are you doing?
Doo-doo-doo. What a white woman at? Might be the one. Might be the one. Oh man. God.
This is why I don't come out.
I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life.
Oh, I know that one. That one hurt.
But she went.
That one hurt.
Let's put her up. With your stupid ass.
Look, her head's already bleeding.
Damn crazy.
Look at the top of her head.
Damn crazy.
That's blood on the top of her head? For sure.
It is. I want to go check her.
You hate to see it, boy. Out of here. Stupid ass.
I'm not going to look
at it. You got sanitizer on your hand?
This is probably the last video we're gonna cover before I call it a day. Again, I gotta go to Baja's place. And I don't want to do it too late. This is Mark Stevens. This is one of the progenitors of modern sovereign citizen arguments. So a lot of sovereign citizens will straight up like buy his program or watch his videos and go through his script. So if you're wondering where a lot of sovereign citizens get their ideas from, Mark Stevens, big one.
Hey, I'm Mark Stevens, author of Government Indicted. The website, of course, is markstevens.net. And finally get this video to go with the article, which was published a little premature, so I'm just not even going to bother changing the title. It was a tentative title, but I hit publish instead of preview, so we got the article well in advance of the video. But here, I finally have the time to do this. We're going to be debunking the claim, territorial/personal jurisdiction.
Can we raid Bad Bunny after? Sure, if she's live.
And why it doesn't exist and how to debunk this garbage. When typical status crap comes up when you start talking about jurisdiction. So the two main arguments that I want to address here that critics love to throw out are, one, jurisdiction requires no evidence.
No one says jurisdiction requires no evidence. The fact that the cop or whoever gave you the ticket or arrested you has like an affidavit or a sworn statement about the arrest, that's the evidence. That's the evidence. If you get a ticket, it says on the ticket, Officer such and such stopped you at this place at this time. If you are in a geographical location that is authorized, that is, what's the word I'm thinking of? If you are in a geographical location that is controlled by a government entity, which is everywhere in the United States, then someone has jurisdiction over you.
It doesn't require any evidence to prove that the Constitution applies.
Are you in the United States? Are you in the United States? Were you born in the United States or became a naturalized citizen? The Constitution applies. Period.
It magically does. Magic.
It's not magic. It's the law. It's how it's American jurisprudence. Sorry.
Two. I'm not in Germany. Jurisdiction, for those critics who claim it can be proven with evidence, believe it's so easy that a child can do it. It's extremely easy to do. They think
it is. Were you like my city? Okay, my city here, Saginaw. I live in Michigan. If I commit a crime, or if anyone commits a crime or a civil infraction in the territory of this city, then you can be stopped by a police officer and either ticketed or arrested. Because I am in a geographical location that is controlled by a governmental body, in this case, the local Saginaw government, on a larger scale, the Michigan government, and an even larger scale, the federal government. It just depends on who has jurisdiction in that particular instance, depending on what the crime is. Usually it's going to be something local, or at least state level, if you're doing something like murdering someone or something like that.
That all they have to do is prove that you were physically in Arizona, then, or, you know, by extension, the magical Constitution applies.
It's not magical. It's the law. It's an agreement that society has come up with, and we live in a society, Joker reference, we live in a society in which majority rule decides the rules. I'm sorry you don't like that. I'm sorry you want to be an individual that has no ties to society, but if you want that, then why are you out here operating on public roadways? Why are you living in cities and using the resources provided to you by society, roads, and all the other amenities you get through your taxes? Why are you using the postal service if you use it? Why are you using any public service that exists if you want to be this individual person? It seems like you just want all the rights that come with being a citizen, but without any of the responsibilities, and you can't have that. That's not how it works.
So I'm going to have the documents in the video regarding an appeal from Mark in New York, and this is actually from a New Jersey Court of Appeal, so I'll have those documents.
How many sovereign citizens end up in jail thanks to this guy? I'm sure it's a decent amount.
They're already in the article, and I'll have them here in the video. So let's just discuss first what jurisdiction is. Jurisdiction is the power of a court to adjudicate court cases and issue orders to its also territory within which a court or government agency may properly exercise their power. And I'm taking this from the Cornell School of Law, which is why people have asked, what's the deal with Danny Bernard? Because there's so many Cornell references in the article, the first thing I thought about was Andy Bernard. So that's why he's in the thumbnail. Cornell Law School is also saying, and I have this linked in the article, the term jurisdiction is really synonymous with the word power. Any court possesses jurisdiction over matters only to the extent granted to it by the Constitution. That's why...
Yes, correct. But if you're in a location and they're the law, they're the judicial system, then they have the authority, the jurisdiction, the power to enforce laws upon you if you are in the geographical location that falls under their jurisdiction. They can do that within the purview of the Constitution.
We talk about the Constitution. If you're physically in Arizona, they believe their laws apply to you.
They do. They do. This is what I don't get about people like this. Like, do they not understand? It's like they're so up in theory, right? It's not even good theory, for that matter. But, like, they're so up in, like, well, how do they have authority over me? It's like they can't get down to just the ground level and realize they have authority over you because society has decided it. We have set up a system where there are cops who can arrest you for perceived crimes. You will then be arrested and then tried for those crimes by society. How do you not understand this? I don't get it. I don't get what they don't get.
That's, no evidence. Magic. Okay, so personal jurisdiction is also power over the man or woman. So like territorial jurisdiction. Territorial jurisdiction is the court's power to bind the parties to the action. So it's power over the person. That's personam jurisdiction. So, of course, the Constitution is the basis of the jurisdiction. That's, no one's debating that. The only issue is these two arguments that, one, it doesn't have to be proven. Now, you could just claim the Constitution applies to somebody because they're physically in Arizona. You don't need any evidence to prove that.
It does apply to them because they are in Arizona. The Constitution is the founding legal document setting out how the United States runs, from the legislature to the judicial to the executive, the powers provided to the states to set up their own governments and what powers they have that are different from that of the federal government, the federal government's laws superseding those of the state in conflict. Like, these are things that the Constitution does, and the Constitution applies to the entirety of the United States. You are in the United States. You are a United States citizen. The Constitution applies to you. It is by definition applicable.
Well, that's absolutely ridiculous. Because not only is it an issue of jurisdiction, it's an element of the charge. because you can't prove that somebody violated the code if you can't first prove it applies in the first place. And just
it does apply.
Saying and alleging that it applies, that's not evidence, that's not proof, that doesn't make it true. So there actually has to be proof, and we'll go to see what the courts actually say about this. Now, I know this is talking about federal jurisdiction, but the principle is the same. Federal courts are courts of limited jurisdiction. They possess only that power authorized by Constitution and statute. So whether you're talking about a federal court or a state court, they still only have that power as authorized by written instruments called constitutions.
Yes, the judicial branch gains its power on paper, legally, through the Constitution, both of the United States if it's a federal court, and the Constitution of the individual state if it's a state court.
Okay? It's not to be expanded by judicial decree. It is to be presumed that a cause lies outside limited jurisdiction. And the burden of establishing the contrary rests on the party asserting jurisdiction, which is the plaintiff or the prosecutor who claims to have and represent a plaintiff when, of course, we know that they actually don't represent anybody but themselves. So there's a little more, some evidence to show that there has to be proof to support your claim. We also go to Rule 3.1 of the Professional Rules of Conduct for attorneys. A lawyer shall not bring or defend a proceeding or assert or controvert an issue therein unless there is a basis in law and fact. So law and fact. If you're going to say that the law applies, you have to have some facts. You have to have some...
Yes, the cop who writes the report about giving you a ticket or arresting you, that is the fact that the governing body, the judicial here, is using to prosecute you. That is the fact in this.
Proof, not just because you said so. And we also have Rule 11 of the Rules of Civil Procedure.
Like, let's say you were driving with a broken tail light, or you didn't have a license plate up to date or something. Then the fact would be a cop saw you, a cop pulled you over, documented the infraction, then ticketed you. On the ticket it said where you were when this happened. Ideally, they'll also have a body cam, or they'll have, like, a camera in their car or whatever. Like, these are basics of how law functions.
Procedure, which states that every pleading motion, written motion, and other paper must be signed by at least one attorney of record in the attorney's name or by a party personally if the parties are represented. The paper must state the signed address, blah, 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 blah. By presenting to the court a pleading, written motion, or other paper, whether by signing, filing, submitting, or later advocating it, an attorney or unrepresented party certifies that to the best of the person's knowledge, information, and belief formed after a reasonable inquiry under the circumstances, that the claims, defenses, and other legal contentions are warranted by existing law or by a non-frivolous argument, blah, blah. The factual contentions have evidentiary support. You gotta have some facts. The denials of factual contentions are warranted on the evidence. So when we say it's just a written instrument...
A written instrument like a ticket or a report by a police officer can be considered a fact by the court. It can be. Sorry.
Okay? Be lying to deny that any ethical violation right there. Then we have, for the criminal side of it, because Rule 11 is just for civil procedure, we have, whether in or out of the United States, it's an abusive process, it is obstruction of justice, it's a felony, and it's called prosecutorial misconduct. Yes, that's right, prosecutorial misconduct. And it doesn't matter what, in the case below, it doesn't matter what the prosecutorial misconduct was in this particular case, because every case is fact-specific. But this is the definition of what prosecutorial misconduct is. Now, critics will turn around and say, well, that has nothing to do with what you're talking about with these IRS prosecutors, because the case in Robertus dealt with completely different issues. Yeah, no kidding. But we're defining what...
Am I a Skyrim player? I have Skyrim. I've played it a lot. I haven't played it lately, but yeah.
Prosecutorial misconduct is, and it's very, really simple. By going outside the evidence, outside the evidence, the prosecutor violated a fundamental rule known to every lawyer that argument is limited to the facts and evidence. And that includes the argument that the Constitution applies to me because I'm physically in Arizona. That's an argument. It's an allegation. It's a legal opinion. Must be based on evidence. Unless, of course, like I covered in the previous video, you're raising a theoretical issue of law. So, again, real briefly, if you say, hey, is it a denial of due process to deny an effective cross-examination? Yes, we could just look at any number of court cases and that's yes. But when you say, did Angel Lopez violate due process? Now you gotta have some damn evidence. You can't just say, oh, he denied effective cross-examination. You have to have statements of fact. You have to have the evidence to back it up. So we will generally be able to do that by asking a question, hey, what evidence do you have that the Constitution code apply to me just because I'm physically in Arizona? The prosecutor is out of his chair objecting. Objection calls for legal conclusion. The witness can't answer. He's not qualified to answer because he doesn't have personal knowledge. And then the judge grants the motion without explanation. And you ask to have the testimony stricken from the record. In a fit of blinding rage, the judge refuses to strike the testimony, ends the cross-examination, and says, that's it, we're done here, you're guilty. Those statements of fact will lead a reasonable person to believe that an effective cross-examination was denied, especially since we asked for the facts the opinion was based on that he made at the traffic stop, not another legal conclusion.
Yeah,
so
I'm good to drive.
Those are our statement of facts that support our legal conclusion that the judge violated due process. Okay. So clearly you have to have evidence. Anyone who says they don't have to have evidence, they're dishonest. They're crooks. They're trying to fool you. They think they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And as we'll see later, even the judges admit jurisdiction is an element of the charge that must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt with evidence and witnesses. So now the second part is that it's easy to prove. Well, they claim this because they think that just showing that you will fit, like to say Mark, for example, was just by showing and having the officer's testimony, maybe have some body cam images, that the police officer physically saw.
I'm over this guy. He's very dry. I don't know. He's gone to court before, by the way, and it doesn't typically go well for him, if you don't know. Let's do a quick Cringe compilation, and then we will call it a day.
Go! Go! Anything. Right, go! I'm kicking now. Go! Make a big circle. You're shooting now. Right.
I did say that was the last video, but we didn't finish it. We only got less than halfway through it.
Peyton, you go. He's not prepared. He ain't got anything right now. I honestly don't. Right, you go first then, Peyton. Okay, I'll give you an idea.
This song is dedicated to our biggest fan out there, Mr. Gibbons, back there.
Okay, I'm not making fun of kids here either. Looks like a lot of kids in that one. Alright, we're done. Sorry, I'm tired today, and I got other stuff I gotta do. I hope the Peter stuff was at least entertaining, though. They can't all be winners. I did say we were gonna do Bad Bunny, I guess. Oh yeah, I have bits messages. Let me do bits messages real quick. There's not very many of them. Puka the Duka says, what did I walk into? I don't remember what it was when you said that. Pyromancer says, it's okay to have a pee fetish, just don't make others think it's healthy. Overthought says, how much to get you to sing pee drinking woman with the same conviction you rapped yesterday? Too much. Pyromancer says, the worst part about these pee drinking people is that they don't just drink pee, they ferment it. Oh god. MH Dark, you ever get pee drunk? MH Dark Beast says, sorry I killed you with pee drinking, man. Have some bits as penance, but I do have a request next time you feel the spirit of rap. Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice from TMNT2. I think that last rap is the last rap I'll ever rap. So, Pyromancer says, drugs are a hell of a drug. Bardlock Moser says, we're laughing till she bites someone. Pyromancer says, as we all know, facts are a part of speech. I remember that video. Magnetar707, thanks for resubscribing for 11 months. Ooh, almost a year. Says, I got vaccinated yesterday. Can't wait to not be terrified every time I go outside. And Cast Iron Pan with 20 bits says, have a good Baja weekend, Hannah. I'm sure I will. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll be gone tomorrow. I'm doing electrolysis as well as getting my COVID vaccine. So next time you see me, I'll be chipped for Bill Gates. So I'll see you guys Saturday. And then, of course, remember, Sunday is the discussion with Peter at 1 p.m. Eastern. So be here, be there, be square. Is that a thing people say? All right, have a good night, everyone. You're all valid. See you guys later.